Please, please, please go see The Fall Guy. I just went to go see this a few days ago and I was very pleasantly surprised by this. It seemed like it would be a decent time, but my expectations were far exceeded. David Leitch is a really fun director and just so happened to direct one of my favorite movies of 2022, that being Bullet Train. If you haven't seen Bullet Train, you're missing out, that's all I'll say.
Game's up, big boy. Where's the case? Tell me, and I promise I'll only shoot you enough.
Whoa, is this the sex stuff?
I didn't know if that super fun style would still carry over or if that was just going to be a one-off, but I'm so happy that it translated to this. This movie seems to fly by. I can't really think of a scene that I didn't enjoy. This soundtrack is great and has a lot of 80s or 80s adjacent songs that just give it a is great and make sure that nothing is boring, which is what you need in a story like this. Ryan Gosling continues to be one of the greatest actors of this generation of film. He works well in every scene and has chemistry with literally everyone that he interacts with, even the villains. Emily Blunt is also great and sells a lot of the romance as well as the emotional beats of the story. This is a will they won't they romance that succeeds in not being annoying purely due to the actions of the characters not being stupid for the sake of the story. All the side characters are great and funny and add to the cast. This movie does some great comedic scenes that can be very over the top, but I would say that for the most part it worked for me. There were some action set pieces that at least for me could have been shortened for brevity, particularly one at the halfway point that just went on a bit too long. The story is great and doesn't have a lot of inconsistencies. All the stunts in this movie are awesome, which makes the heart of the movie really pull through. This film is a love letter to one of the most neglected aspects of filmmaking, and it's cool to see it get some love. With CGI getting better and better, stunt work has only become more and more disregarded, but Fall Guy really pushes the idea that there is no replacement for good stunt work. The camera work in this is weirdly excellent. There's a lot of creative long takes that actually serve a purpose, like painting a picture of the scope of a location or the stress of a character. Don't get me wrong, I love me some unneeded long takes like Alfonso Cuarón does, but they're especially nice when I can tell they mean something. This movie's really funny, at least when it comes to the main characters. Ryan Gosling is always funny, so is Aaron Taylor-Johnson, but I was surprised how funny Winston Duke and Emily Blunt were in their roles. Some of the side characters on the movie got a bit annoying after a while, but it never bogged down the viewing experience because the main four were all just so likable. The lighting is really good and adds a lot to the visuals of what would normally look like a standard action movie. The movie also does include the new cliche of modern action movies having one neon lit fight scene, but this movie kind of actively makes fun of it. As someone really involved with the process of making a film, this movie's a complete joy to watch, and look for all the production information that this movie has. This is a great watch, and while it's not totally changing the blockbuster genre or subverting expectations, it doesn't do anything dramatic. It's a great time and succeeds in being a very well done action movie that anyone can enjoy. Now you might be wondering, why am I so adamant about people going to see this movie? I mean, I just told you that it's not doing anything to blow the audience away or make you change the way you think about anything, but that's kind of why I am so passionate about people going to see this in theaters. This is such an important movie for cinema at the moment, and the best thing that we as a consumer can do for film is to go pay money to see this movie. I think we can all agree that the future of movies and the film industry at the moment is pretty unclear. There is a big, huge Marvel-shaped hole in the industry, and with that, a large loss of purpose, it seems, in movies that can pull people to theaters. And while I know many die-hard movie people would love to say that we can get art movies to pull in hundreds of millions if we just put more emphasis on them, that just simply is not realistic, unless you count Nolan or Tarantino, but I don't.
Bye, Miss Laura.
I think a lot of people are fed up with movies at the moment being either a bunch of really bad money eaters, like superhero movies at the moment, or just horribly outdated sequels. Aside from Top Gun Maverick being one of the best movies of the last few years, it seems like studios have been struggling to build confidence in new IP, and just resorting to make some horribly outdated sequels to series that do not need it. I mean, was anyone really asking for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire? That's not any comment on the quality of the movie, I haven't seen it. I just mean that we aren't getting in new projects because studios are scared to take chances. The Fall Guy seems like the best compromise on this. It's a great, solid, well-made summer action movie with an all-star cast, a competent director, and tight writing. This is the type of film that I think everyone can agree we need more of. I'm sure we'd all love to pretend that the film industry is all about making art and telling great stories, but it has always been and always will be a business first. The studios will always follow the money no matter what. Throughout all of film history, no matter what you might think, the only way that a change in the views of the industry has occurred is if it seemed like the way to make the most money. It's sad, but it's just how it is. That also means that we can show the studios what we want more of directly. And while it may not be your favorite movie, I think most people would greatly prefer another Fall Guy or Bullet Train or even Monkey Man over Jurassic Galaxy 4 domain expansion or whatever they're trying to do with that franchise now. So with that being said, please go see The Fall Guy. Because it's good, it's fresh, and you'll like it. and that's what we need the most right now. Thank you guys for watching.